Are relationship doubts normal? This is a question that many of us have asked ourselves at one point or another. It's a question that lingers in the back of our minds, often unspoken, casting a shadow over the brightest of bonds. Doubts, those pesky little thoughts, can creep in for a variety of reasons. Perhaps it's a matter of trust, a promise broken or a secret kept. Or maybe it's communication or the lack thereof, leading to misunderstandings and unspoken grievances. Then there's the personal insecurities, those internal battles that can seep into our relationships, causing us to question our worthiness of love. These are just a few examples of why doubts can arise within a relationship. But remember, it's not the presence of these doubts that defines us, but how we handle them. So, let's delve into the world of relationship doubts and see what experts have to say about it. Doubts are an integral part of our decision-making process. They help us weigh the pros and cons before making a choice. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, preparing to dive into the clear, sparkling water below. Doubt, in this instance, is like the hesitation you feel before taking that dive. It's a protective measure, a survival instinct that encourages you to evaluate the risks and rewards. Now let's take that analogy and apply it to relationships. When we start a new relationship or take a significant step in an existing one, doubts often creep in. These doubts can be seen as a psychological tool that our mind uses to assess the potential risks involved. Let's hear what the experts have to say about this. According to renowned psychologists, doubts can indeed be beneficial in certain situations. They suggest that doubts can help us reflect on our feelings, understand our needs better, and ultimately make informed decisions. For instance, doubt can lead to introspection and facilitate a deeper understanding of what we truly want from a relationship. However, it's essential to differentiate between healthy doubts, which lead to growth and understanding, and destructive doubts, which can lead to anxiety and dissatisfaction. Healthy doubts can be constructive, encouraging us to communicate our feelings, seek advice, and work towards solutions. On the other hand, destructive doubts, if left unchecked, can lead to a spiral of negative thoughts and emotions, impacting our mental well-being and the health of our relationships. So how do we identify if our doubts are healthy or destructive? Well, it often boils down to the source and persistence of these doubts. If they're based on tangible issues and lead to positive actions, they're likely healthy. But if they're based on unfounded fears and persist despite reassurances, they might be destructive. However, when doubts start to dominate our relationships, it becomes a problem that needs addressing. It's crucial to remember that doubts are not inherently bad. They're a natural part of life and relationships. But when they start to overshadow the joy, trust, and affection in our relationships, it's a clear sign that something needs to change. Trust is the foundation of any relationship. When it's compromised, doubts are bound to surface. This statement, while simple, encapsulates a truth that many of us grapple with in our relationships. Trust is not just about believing your partner won't cheat or lie to you. It's also about feeling secure that they have your best interests at heart, that they respect you, and that they are committed to the relationship as much as you are. But let's dive a bit deeper. According to relationship experts, trust issues can stem from many sources. They could be a result of past experiences, such as being cheated on or betrayed by a previous partner. Or they might be rooted in deeper insecurities, like a fear of abandonment or rejection. These experiences can leave scars, causing us to doubt even the most trustworthy partners. So, how do these trust issues lead to doubts in a relationship? Well, when trust is compromised, we start to question everything. We scrutinize our partner's actions, second-guess their intentions, and may even doubt our own judgment. We might find ourselves asking, are they really where they say they are? Do they really love me? Can I truly rely on them? But here's the thing, it's okay to have these doubts. Doubts are not the enemy. They're a signal that something needs to be addressed. They're an invitation to have a conversation, to express your fears, and to seek reassurance. They're an opportunity to build a stronger, more transparent relationship. However, it's crucial not to let these doubts fester. Unaddressed doubts can grow into major trust issues, creating a cycle of suspicion, anxiety, and resentment that can be destructive to a relationship. So if you're experiencing doubts because of trust issues, don't ignore them. Reach out to your partner, open up about your fears, seek professional help if needed. Remember, trust is not built in a day. It's a process. It requires patience, understanding, and open communication. And most importantly, it requires both partners to be committed to building it. Remember, it's okay to have doubts, but it's crucial to address them before they turn into major trust issues. Scene script. Communication is the lifeline of any relationship. When it breaks down, doubts start to creep in. Imagine you're in the middle of a dense forest, and the only way out is through a path marked by a series of signs. Now imagine if those signs suddenly disappeared. That's what happens when communication breaks down in a relationship. You're lost, you're confused, and you're not sure which way to go. And that's when doubts start to creep in. Communication is the key that unlocks doubts and provides clarity. It's like the flashlight that illuminates the path in our forest analogy. But how does it do that? Let's take a moment to hear from some experts. Relationship therapists often note that open and honest communication allows couples to voice their fears, express their needs, and navigate their doubts together. It's like a two-way street where both parties are not just speaking but also actively listening. Imagine that. A world where we don't just wait for our turn to speak but genuinely listen to understand. Revolutionary, isn't it? And it's not just about the big talks. Communication is also in the little things. The daily check-ins, the shared laughter, the silent understanding. These seemingly small interactions are the threads that weave together the fabric of your relationship. But what happens when those threads start to unravel? When communication breaks down, it's easy for misunderstandings to happen, for assumptions to take the place of facts, and for silence to breed insecurities. It's like trying to navigate our forest without the signs or the flashlight. It's no wonder doubts start to creep in. So if you find yourself lost in the forest of doubts, it might be worth asking, how's the communication in your relationship? Are you both speaking and listening with an open heart? Are you making the effort to understand each other's perspectives? Remember, communication is a skill, and like any skill, it can be improved with practice. So, start today, start now. Because the path out of the forest is there, you just need to illuminate it. So, if doubts are creeping in, it might be time to check in on your communication patterns. Sometimes our personal insecurities can fuel doubts in a relationship. Isn't it fascinating how our minds work? A little voice in our heads constantly questioning our worth and abilities, and sometimes even the love we receive. These are our insecurities speaking, and the truth is, we all have them. They're like those little monsters under the bed when we were kids, aren't they? Scary, irrational, and yet incredibly real to us. Now let's put on our thinking hats and delve into how these insecurities can lead to doubts in relationships. Picture this. You're absolutely smitten by someone, but there's a nagging feeling that you're not good enough. Sounds familiar? That's your insecurities playing puppet master with your emotions. Experts suggest that self-awareness plays a crucial role here. It's like having a flashlight in a dark room. The more aware you are of your insecurities, the better you can manage them. And managing them does not mean burying them deep down. Rather, it means acknowledging them, understanding them, and then working on them. Now let's talk about another key player: self-esteem. It's the foundation of your relationship with yourself and consequently with others. When you have a healthy self-esteem, you understand your worth. You realize that you are deserving of love and respect. But when self-esteem dips, doubts creep in. You start questioning if you are lovable, if you are worth staying with. But here's the silver lining. We can turn these insecurities around. We can use them as a catalyst for growth, both personally and in our relationships. It's not an overnight process, but it's a journey worth taking. Start by practicing self-love and self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. You are human, and it's okay to have flaws. Remember, our insecurities are part of us, but they do not define us. They are not the complete picture of who we are. And as we learn to face them, we also learn to resolve the doubts that they fuel in our relationships. Facing our insecurities can be a crucial step in resolving relationship doubts. So, are relationship doubts normal? The answer is yes. As we've journeyed through this topic, we've touched on the complexities of doubt in relationships, exploring the common concerns of trust, communication, and personal insecurities. We've heard real-life anecdotes and expert insights, and we've seen that these issues are more common than we might think. Doubts, like the occasional rain cloud on a sunny day, are a natural part of relationships. They're not something to be feared, but rather signals that there are areas in our relationships that need attention and nurturing. The key is not to let these doubts consume us, but to address them head-on. Open up that line of communication, reinforce the foundation of trust, and work on those personal insecurities. Remember, no one is perfect, and every relationship has its unique challenges. Remember, it's okay to have doubts. What's important is how we deal with them. So, keep communicating, trust in your relationship, and work on your insecurities. Together, you can overcome any doubt. Please subscribe to learn more about the most frequently asked questions in relationships, and let me know what yours are.